So I wanted to, here at Swiss Bionics, we wanted to take the time out to give everybody a rundown of the iMRS Prime in reference to comparing it to the iMRS series, which a lot of people are already very familiar with. So it will let people know who may have an iMRS and somebody may be interested in iMRS Prime. Well, if they wanted an iMRS complete set, what would be the appropriate iMRS Prime to present to them? And through that process, we'll also be able to go through all the new different features, show you the improvements and how all the upgrades and how really this is really the next generation of PMF devices. Swiss Bionics forming a partnership with Kubios, we are now not only doing therapeutic with utilizing PMF, binaural beats, color therapy, we are also now able to do diagnostic through Kubios. So we're not only a therapeutic device, we're also a diagnostic device by utilizing the Kubios software to get a deep dive into heart rate variability. So we'll begin the presentation here, and we'll open it up for questions afterwards. And then we're also going to have a small presentation with the camera where we'll actually show you the screen on the iMRS Prime and all the features that we're discussing here in the keynote. So what we're going to go through is about 9 different points. We're going to compare the WellFit, the Complete, and the Professional with the iMRS Prime Basic, Advanced, and Expert. We're going to compare the ISLRS with the Hexagon Brain, the iMORE with the Hexagon Sense, and then we're going to show you the new control unit, the new connector boxes, the applicators, and then as well as the sets. And then we're going to give you a quick glimpse into the new versions, which aren't on the market with the iMRS original series, which is the hybrid, which does the far infrared, and the iMRS Prime trial, which at a later date, we're going to do a whole webinar just on those new bundles and new sets, which we have, so people can really get the information about what is new about those. But we're going to begin with what everybody does know about the iMRS Prime and the sets, WellFit, Complete, and Professional. So currently we have the iMRS WellFit, and as we know, it comes with 2 applicators. It comes with a whole body mat applicator as well as the pillow pad applicator. The control unit, you have 3 time selections, 8 minutes, 16 minutes, 24 minutes. And you have up to 200 intensity setting. So with the iMRS Prime, we have the new whole body mat. We have the newly designed pillow pad. And the benefit with the Prime, with the new connector box and the new control unit, is that you are no longer limited to your time selections. Even with the iMRS Prime Basic, which is compared to the WellFit, you now have the adjustable timer. So you're not limited to those 3 sections, which a lot of people would always look for the Complete because the WellFit had the limited intensity settings as well as the limited time settings. But now with the iMRS Prime Basic, you don't have those 2 hurdles anymore. You have the full intensity range, and you also have the full time adjustability. So it makes it a great entry-level PMF device for those who may be just getting started or really want one to begin with for the health benefits, and they're not ready yet to work their way up, but this is a great benefit, and they still get that intensity settings as well as the time, which everybody always desired. And to give you an idea about price, the iMRS WellFit was $3,775, and the iMRS Prime Basic is $4,490. So it's a little bit more expensive, but it's still within the same price range. And again, you do get the full intensity range as well as you get the time selection, 0 to 60. And one of the features that you didn't have on the iMRS is we have the quick starts. So you're getting all those additional features, and we'll review the quick starts as well, but just keep in mind with the iMRS Prime Basic, you do get the quick start, the adjustable time, and the full intensity spectrum. But if somebody was looking at a well fit, you would be able to refer them to the iMRS Prime. And again, the price is $37.75 was for the well fit, and the Prime is $4,490. So it's still within the same range of price. And always keep in mind with the new iMRS Prime, we work with activation codes now. So somebody can start with the Prime and then at a later date purchase different packages, and what they would get is an activation code on their invoice, and they would just touch that activation code into the control unit, and they can go up to a different level of their iMRS Prime. So you can always start with the beginning and take them all the way up to the iMRS Prime trial. So, or if they want to just start with the iMRS Prime Basic and then at a later date add the far infrared, all they would have to do is make that purchase. They would get the activation code on their invoice. And again, those customers are always associated with the rep. So as they make all these additional purchases, that will also be associated with the rep who originally placed the unit with them. So they are able to be aware they're upgrading the unit and provide them the proper training, as well as coach them along a path on their PEMF journey as they're going and upgrading to more benefits, as they're aware of why they would want all these different benefits. And you would also get the commission on the upgrades, since the unit is associated with that rep. So at any time, even if Swiss Bionics offers a promotion and sends it out to the customers, anyone who gets it, whoever is that initiating rep, would get all the different commission as they upgrade, automatically associated to that original purchase for the customer. So that's also good news, because we can also promote the different features. We could have promotions, and if the customer calls and purchases them, you would automatically get the commission from that, even if they call the office or they just purchase it online. With the iMRS Complete, if somebody was looking for an iMRS Complete previously, you would be able to refer them to the iMRS Prime Advanced. And to give you an idea about price, the iMRS Complete was $4,565, and the iMRS Prime Advanced is $5,290. So there's not a big difference. The benefits with the new iMRS Advanced is that you are not limited to the 3 time selections, again, 8, 16, and 24. You have the full time spectrum. You also have the full intensities settings, which you did with the Complete, but you also have them with the Advanced. And instead of the probe, the new applicator is the Hexagon Applicator Spot. Those who are familiar with the Omnium are familiar with the Spot. But this is the Spot. It's a more flexible applicator. You can use it where you can create the Helmholtz effect. You can also create it separate to where if you want to treat up the whole side of an arm, or maybe up and down a line of chakras, or if you are working on kidneys, you can then position it. So you have a lot more flexibility with the Spot, and that is in lieu of the probe, which was on the original iMRS series. The other great thing is you also get the quick starts, which we'll show you then at the end of this presentation. But with the iMRS Advanced, you also get the quick starts as well. And again, you also have the ability to do activation codes at any time somebody wants to get an extra applicator, they want to be able to upgrade to the far infrared. This will all be able to be done with just getting an invoice, making a purchase. Activation code is on the invoice, which can be emailed them from the SBS offices. They type in the activation code onto their control unit, and the features open up. We also have on the Complete which is not on the basic, is the program mode. So for those who want to be able to set different, say you're reading a research study or somebody gave you some protocols and you want to be able to follow them, you can type them into the system. So where you're able to just hit it and these protocols will already come in. Maybe you're working with different people in your family, or you're at a wellness center and you have different clients coming in and you want to do different protocols for different clients, but you want to make it very easy. Or maybe you want to do one set of clients with one protocols and the second set of clients with another protocol, and then compare the results. You are able to do that with the new program mode, because you can program all these users with their protocols into the system. That is not available on the basic, and that is available on the advanced, and is one of the added features which makes this the advanced versus the basic. And then we did review the price. I'll give that one more time. The complete was $4,565, and the advanced is $5,290. So you are in the same price range, and you're getting these additional features which were not on the original iMRS complete. Then we go to where normally if somebody was interested in the iMRS professional, we would now be able to offer them the iMRS expert, the iMRS Prime expert. And this one has a lot of great features which weren't on the original iMRS Prime, and this is what makes this the expert versus the advanced. In this bundle, you have the original iGuide. The new iGuide is updated. There's more protocols in it. And again, the iGuide is time and intensity selections for those who are just getting started. They're non-linear, and they really assist with helping people not have any type of healing effects, or people who want to be gung-ho and want to do the highest intensity for 1 hour, where that may not be the most appropriate for people who are just starting out, or maybe dealing with a chronic disease management or a condition, and they may need to go slow and steady. So the iGuide is a good reference point on the time and intensities for individuals to use based on various conditions that they may have at that time. So also with the iMRS Prime, you're getting the program mode, you're also getting the iGuide, and one of the brand new features is the software tool split mode. That allows you to use 2 applicators at the same time. So say we have a husband and wife. One can be using the whole body mat, one can be using the pillow pad. And what really makes this different from any of the competition out there is the new control unit, as well as the DA converter, possesses two frequency generators as well as 2 processors. So when you do the split mode, you aren't splitting a signal where you're getting half of a signal sent to one applicator and then it's split to another applicator. Back in the day when people could, reroute their cable boxes to an extra bedroom or whatnot, and it always diminished the signal a little bit. You don't have that with the new iMRS Prime, because it is utilizing 2 frequency generators and 2 processors. So individuals can be setting completely different parameters on each applicator and using it at the same time while you're watching Netflix, or say you're doing the same meditation, or say you wake up in the morning and you're doing your stretches before you go out for your walk or your bike ride. You're able to do each of your own. Maybe one individual likes the lower intensities, maybe the other individual likes the higher intensities. You don't have to choose or do them at separate times anymore. You can do them both at the same time and get the full power of the PEMF generator, not a split signal. So it's a huge feature, because you can purchase an extra whole body mat, and now you have 2 whole body mats. So if you're using it before you go to bed and watch TV, you and your spouse can each have their own whole body mat, and you can utilize your own programs separate from the other applicator that is running off of the control unit simultaneously. So that's one of the new features on the Prime Expert, and it's really setting the whole system apart. So you have again, the activation code features, it has the quick start features, it has the dual frequency generators, it also has the new software tool split mode, which is what the new frequency generators, and then it also has the upgraded iGuide that goes with that as well too. The price from the professional was $5,545, and with the new Prime Expert, the price is $6,290. So, but again, with the new Expert, you're getting the split tool feature, and then you're also getting the upgraded iGuide with all the other features that come with the basic as well as the advanced. So you're getting a great value there. And the iMRS Professional was probably the most popular unit. And then always keep in mind, Swiss Bionic Solutions always has monthly promotions, which we're going to continue to do. And so now with all of these new features and applicators, bundles and sets, we have a whole broad array of possibilities of new promotions, which we now can do. So always keep in mind that we do always have the promotions as well. The ISLRS, which went with the iMRS, is here on the left, and you can see a snap view of the new Hexagon brain. So you could see now a lot of the issues people would have was the soft shells where it was affecting the cords. Now it is more like a ski mask, so it is more durable. It is also now the way it is designed, and with the control unit, you have now the same color options as you do with the Omnium, for those familiar with the Omnium. The iMRS, you had red, blue, and green. Now on the control unit, you have a color palette. So you can make purples and pinks, and you can make colors of reds and oranges, and you can mix them together. So as we do more presentations on chromotherapy and color therapy, and we learn the different benefits of yellows and purples and why you would also want to utilize those colors, you are able to do that with the Hexagon brain. The other feature with the Hexagon brain is that it is in sync with the quick starts. So if you do a quick start, such as regeneration, the Hexagon brain intuitively will switch to the correct color, as well as the binaural beats, which go with those quick starts. With the binaural beats, the sound portion of it, we've upgraded the ability to download your own music, create your own music profiles. For those who take it to the next level, you'll be able to combine your own colors. For those who use it in a professional setting, you'll be able to combine your own colors with the binaural beat, depending on the individual you're working with, or maybe your own goal. Because remember, utilizing color therapy as well as light therapy stimulates new neurological pathways. So you can really create new behavior patterns, which we all know in this new world which we've woken up to, that being able to be resilient and able to adjust is going to be huge. And that's going to be a huge ability of the new iMRS Prime, is to benefit the users and help them make all these new adjustments, calm them down, relax, in this whole new world we woke up into. The ISLRS was $699 as a purchase as a standalone, to give you a price comparison, and the new Hexagon brain is $795. Now, of course, they're always available with the sets, but to give you an idea of the price differences, which I know a lot of people had questions on the pricing, it's not really a far off price difference, considering all the additional benefits and features which you'll be able to utilize as well. So you have the full broad spectrum of color choices. The quick starts are all in sync with the color and light therapy from the Hexagon Sense. and easy upload music with just a USB drive, and you're able to create your own playlists. Maybe that's a feature you want to provide for your clients or your members, is you want to create personalized playlists. And now you can do that, and you'll be able to send that out or create different protocols for individuals who are working on different areas, and really send those out, and people can do a whole bunch of protocols all in unison and report back what they liked about it, what they didn't like about it. So it's a great way to keep people active and involved now that we are all switching over into a world where we're really going to be focused more on working out of our homes and not going out to public places as much anymore to get different therapy and to get different modalities. It's all going to be coming into the home, and people are going to be importing through telemedicine, through Zoom, through Skype, their experts, their yoga instructors, their chromotherapists, their PEMF advisors. So in reality, it's going to be making it more efficient for people to stay connected and involved while they're helping people integrate all these new modalities into their lives. Now, I would like to introduce, and this is one of my experts, one of my favorite sections of it, is the new Hexagon Sense, where with the iMRS Prime, when you had the iMore, you were limited in the ability to decipher data from the app analysis. So you would either have to take a picture and collect a week's worth of it and then compare them, because the app was really designed just to illustrate to people, was there variability or was there not variability? And that was all just based on what intensity did the device move to at what specific time. You weren't really able to decipher any relative information into your health and wellness from that app easily. Now, with Swissbonic's partnership with Kubios, like I had mentioned, has turned the iMRS Prime from not only therapeutic by utilizing the electromagnetic spectrum, we are now diagnostic. So this is an example on the right of what the report will look like from your Hexagon Sense. So the way this would generally work is the new Hexagon Sense will be able to collect the data. So it's familiar just like the old connector, except for this is a new advanced one, because the other benefit is you're going to be getting your oxygen utilization rate. So you'll be able to show how the body is utilizing oxygen. So you'll get your SpO2, and you'll get your heart rate variability analysis. And with the partnership with Kubios, which is one of the leading research software, and the software is free to download on the internet, so it doesn't cost anything to get these reports to be able to PDF and print them off. And again, focusing on helping people from home, is that we will have classes on how to really do a deep dive into these reports. People can email you, give you a PDF, and you're going to be able to help them with stress levels, relaxation. You're going to be able to look into people's time domain and frequency domain. It will tell you what frequencies are generating through their body. Do they have high frequencies or low frequencies? And all of these frequencies relate to the parasympathetic activity or the sympathetic activity of the body. So you'll be able to see if someone is in a very high stressed mode when they should be more relaxed, or whether or not people need to practice more deep breathing while they're doing PEMF to really get the benefits of it. So you'll be able to really look at the functioning of the autonomic nervous system, which the autonomic nervous system can really also show you the functioning of the immune system. It can show you how the body is functioning. So you're really able to add nutrition, you're able to add exercise, movement, and then utilize PEMF and get the benefit of the Kubios printout to really see how all of this is benefiting. when you're utilizing PMF, your body is at rest. So because we're using a time domain, meaning that it is analyzing the biometrics from the start of your session to the end, and you're able to adjust the blue window, which you can see on the screen there. So you can see how somebody first started within the first minute of their session. And then you can also hone in on the last minute and compare. How did this person start? So you'll be able to see the body de-stressing on the during their time with the PMF unit. You can also evaluate the magnetic field parameters. Maybe this person doesn't respond as well to the noon setting as well as they do to the evening setting. With the new trial, which we'll review, you'll be able to create your own pulse trains. You'll be able to create your own parameters that you can pull from research from MedPub, or you'll be able to pull them from Google Scholar, or somebody sent you a great study that was done. You'll be able to now replicate those magnetic field parameters and see, is my body responding well? How does my body respond to red stimulus from the hexagon sense or hexagon brain versus, say, blue? So now you'll be able to actually see, by looking at heart rate variability, the functioning of the autonomic nervous system, how somebody's body is responding. Was this relaxing to them, or was this a stressor to that individual? And they have a lot of other great features like nonlinear analysis. And again, we're going to do a full course, and it will probably be a series of courses, since there is a ton of information to educate people about. But this is just a snapshot of what is available. And Kubios, the standard version, is free, and they even have a premium version, which gives you even more ability to show people what is going on. So that is the hexagon sense compared to the iMRS iMore. The iMore as a standalone was $709, and as a standalone, the hexagon sense, for individuals who say may want to get an activation code and upgrade, the hexagon sense is $895. So $709 compared to $895. You get the report, as well as with the new advanced sensor, you're able to get oxygen utilization rate, your SpO2, which will print out on the screen. So you'll have a lot of more great features with that. So with the iMRS Prime Basic, to review, you would get the control unit, which we're going to show you in a minute. You would get the iMRS Prime connector box, and that is right here. If you can see it, let me move this here. Okay, so this is the new iMRS Prime connector box. It's a metal, and one feature which I wanted to point out real quick is this is where we have a left side for the applicators, which can all plug in. And the great thing, I know those who work with the Omnium, is now they're all just plug and play applicators. There's no more twisting. So it just snaps in. So the way the split mode on the Expert would work is you have one set of applicators here, and then you also have the ability to plug another set of applicators on this side. So technically, an individual could buy a whole other set of applicators, and that, since we will all be spending a lot more time with our families, our spouses, all in the same home, watching Netflix, listening to different movies, you are now able to get also, just if people may want to have their own set of applicators for hygienic purposes, you're now able to have your own set plugged in, and like I said, it has a separate processor and magnetic field generator, two of them, in order to run the split mode. And then with the basic, you get the pillow pad, and then you would also get the newly designed pillow pad, and then you would also get the whole body mat. And that, again, if somebody had come to you and said they were interested in a well fit, this would be the comparable, the iMRS Basic. And then again, the Basic obviously can be upgraded to a set. And when you upgrade it to a set, the set price for the Basic, and that would include the Hexagon Brain and the Hexagon Sense, and that would be $5,490. So it's still, as far as PEMF pricing, still reasonable priced compared to the iMRS sets. The iMRS Prime is still within the same ballpark, as well as you get all these other additional features like the quick start, you get the easy ability to upgrade. So with the basic set here, with the basic bundle here, you can always upgrade it to a set for $5,490, and that would be the set. And always remember, we're going to still have our monthly promotions and our monthly features. So, you know, buy a basic Prime Basic and you get upgraded, or maybe you get this feature. Who knows what will come out of Switzerland, but we'll always have the great promotions as always. Now we have the advanced, which if somebody was interested in the iMRS Complete, you would offer them the iMRS Advanced. And the iMRS Advanced, if you did it as a set with the Hexagon Sense and the Hexagon Brain, would be $6,290. So the Advanced bundle, which is here, is the $5,290. And then the set is $6,290. So it's about $1,000 difference between the bundle and then taking the bundle and turning it into a set to get the Hexagon Brain and the Hexagon Sense. And then we have the Expert, and then this is the one with the split mode, which I was illustrating here on the DA converter. And this would be the model that you would offer somebody if they were interested in the iMRS Professional. So you would offer them the iMRS Expert. And again, the Expert bundle is $6,290. And then if they want the iMRS Prime Expert set with the Hexagon Sense and the Hexagon Brain, it would be $7,290. And again, these are US dollars. So you will have to, once the official price is published in the back office, check your different countries. But these are US dollars that I'm providing. So Canada, Australia, Europe, Asia, you'll have different pricing, but these are all in US dollars. This is the new iMRS Prime, which we do not have a comparison for with the original iMRS series. This is the iMRS Prime Hybrid. This is where we are utilizing more modalities from the electromagnetic field spectrum. So we're not only doing a pulsed electromagnetic field, we're also doing far infrared, which is also on the electromagnetic field spectrum. So what we're doing is, in this specially designed whole body mat, there is also the coils where you're able to generate far infrared simultaneously with a pulsed electromagnetic field. So you would get all the features with the iMRS Prime Expert. In addition, you get the software tool, and we'll show you here on the control unit, but you also get the software tool with the hybrid mode. So one of the benefits is utilizing more modalities from the electromagnetic field, is that that's how the body normally receives energy from our environment. It is not just from the electromagnetic spectrum, the electromagnetic pulses. You also have the far infrared, you have the light. So now you're getting all of these combined into one therapeutic modality. And if you have the upgraded set, you can then use the Hexagon Sense in order to evaluate how your body is responding to these different modalities in order to create precision protocols for specific individuals. So depending on how deep you want to take your involvement, you can really create specific protocols, evaluate them by having them send you a PDF of the Kubios printout, and you're able to adjust. You're able to say, well, let's see how this responds. Well, what time of day? Maybe at night, somebody responds different than in the morning. So you're able to do all of this, and with all different telemedicines, with the different Zoom and Skype, you're able to communicate to people whether we are all on lockdown or whether we are all back to where we can move around freely in our communities. But at this point, it doesn't matter because you're still able to continue helping people as a PMF representative with Swiss Bionics, regardless of what is happening in our external environment. And right now, it's even more important to really show people how you need to be able to provide health into your home, because all of us are now sitting and eating twice as much as we normally already sat and ate. Because some of us who live in cities or whatnot, you don't have a yard to go out to. So when you are on lockdown, you don't have the free range as somebody who lives in a more suburban or rural area versus somebody who lives in an urban area. So it is even more important to take naturally generated energy and bring that into the home. We're also using more technology to fund our lives or to continue our lives. So we're bringing more Bluetooth into our environments, more 5G into our environments, more Wi-Fi into our environments, and we're getting less and less and less natural energies. So it's going to be even more important for people to create home health areas where they're able to evaluate and really able to help individuals and take it to a next level. So even though that all the uncertainty is going on in the environment, it really gives people who want to really truly help people with their health the ability to take it to the next level. Because a lot of people are more captive now and they're interested now and they want to know, how does my heart rate variability, how can that show the functioning of my autonomic nervous system or my immune capabilities? And now we're able to put the classes together and people are able to assist people personally and individually, not just broad protocols or patented signals which have to work on everybody. Now you can create your own signals, whether they don't have to be a one signal and you try to get it to fit into every single individual. You can create multiple protocols with different colors and different sounds, different beats, different energies from the electromagnetic spectrum by utilizing the far infrared with the PEMF or just the far infrared or the PEMF, and you'll be able to combine all of this together. And to give you a price about this, the hybrid bundle, which there is no iMRS comparison, the hybrid bundle is $7,290. And if you want to make that a set, it's going to be $8,290. So $8,290 as a set with the Hexagon Sense as well as the Hexagon Brain, or just the bundle, which is $7,290. And again, you can always start somebody with a basic, and then they can always upgrade easily with the activation codes. Or as they join Swiss Bionics and they start generating commissions and they want to then upgrade and be able to do more of these modalities, or maybe they just finished at a naturopathic school or a chiropractic and they want to be able to combine what they had learned in their education, you're now able to integrate all of this information. The split mode is great because now you can have 2 whole body mats going in for a massage therapist. Say you're doing a husband and wife or a couple, or maybe you're doing 2 different massages at the same time. You're both able to have 1 control unit and do 2 separate if you have a second whole body mat. So now the massage therapist can do 2 individuals at the same time. Maybe it's a doctor's office. They're able to do 2 individuals at the same time. So it's really a great feature being able to do the software tool split mode as well as the software tool hybrid mode. And always remember, just with the hybrid bundle, you already get the split mode. So even if you don't want to get the extra applicator at this point, you can use the spot on someone's knee while they're doing the whole body mat, and then you can switch. Maybe somebody wants to do the pad and the brain, and you want to do the hexagon sense and the whole body mat. So now you can each do those different combinations. And then you may decide that, you know what, we want 2 spots. Maybe you want to have a spot on each knee and do different protocols. So now you can actually do 2 spots on with one control unit, and you can then treat yourself with the 2 spots. So that's one of the great features of the split mode, is you're able to utilize 2 applicators with 2 full functions, plus the new hybrid mode, which does the far infrared with the therapy as well. And then one of the best features of the advanced iMRS Prime, which individuals are going to, let's do that. Okay. And with the new Prime, trial, so the first new one that does not have a comparison with the iMRS original series is now we have the hybrid, which is the far infrared. We have the Prime, which has the hybrid mode, which does the far infrared. And on top of that, it has the software tool for trial. This is an extraordinary feature and is really setting apart the iMRS Prime and taking it really to a whole different level. With the software tool trial feature, you're able to change the waveform. You're able to create customized pulse trains is really what you're able to do. You're able to choose your waveform. Maybe you wanted to do a sawtooth waveform with the pillow pad. Before, you would only be able to generate a square wave from the pillow pad. With the iMRS Prime trial, with the software tool trial, you're able to select what waveform. Maybe I want the trapezoid, maybe I want sawtooth, maybe I do want a sine wave. You're able to choose what waveform, how many breaks you would like, how many repetitions. You're able to choose the intensity all the way up to 999 microtesla, which is basically 1 millitesla. So you're going to have a full range of intensities all the way up to 999 microtesla, so basically 1 millitesla. And you're able to choose different frequencies all the way up to 1,000 hertz, and you're able to adjust that. So with the trial, and the reason why it is classified as trial, is you're really able to create customized protocols to users at home and do a trial. Maybe you pulled these from a software, from a research paper. Maybe what comes out in the future is we now have the information that is now published that says utilizing this waveform at this intensity and at this frequency really generates kidney function. Now you're able to actually replicate those signals and those parameters and have a full range of intensities and frequencies to choose from. So I mean, technically, any competitor on the market, you are able to replicate their frequencies because you have that ability. So as long as you're legally able to, you can technically duplicate any signal that is out there. You can utilize the waveform. You can create your own pulse trains, how many breaks, how many repetitions. You would want that. And to give you an idea, a repetition is, I would like this to pulse this many times with this many breaks, and I would like it repeated 10 times. Because when you really look at how magnetic fields are used in the medical community, for example, transcranial magnetic stimulation, that is how they classify the dosage of the magnetic field parameter. How many pulse trains, how many replications did this individual get? And that really is the magnetic field dosage that you would be able to show individuals. You're able to conduct your own independent study. Maybe you are an integrative doctor, or maybe you are an osteopath and you work in a specific group of individuals. Maybe you're doing a diabetic population health study in your community about people who are pre-diabetic, and you want to see what are the best parameters to assist these people for not entering into a diseased or a specific condition. And again, the device does not treat any specific disease or condition. We are just creating magnetic field parameters based on research and studies that are already out there. But technically, the device is not treating any disease or illness or diagnosis. We are just replicating magnetic field parameters. So that's an important distinction when you are explaining it to people, to let them know that you are not treating the diabetes, you are not treating the Parkinson's, you are just replicating magnetic field parameters, which may be able to help individuals with certain diseases or conditions who are wanting to go into a healthy lifestyle. So really the possibilities are open. Specifically for independent researchers who want to then, maybe they want to see, maybe they have a pool of people and they want to see what works best. So, and with the system, it has built a logger. So it will save all of this application data, and it all can be exported through a USB drive, and it will save it for 365 days. Because the system has two processors, and the new control unit is really a high-powered computer, and that is what is being able to give us all of these functions and possibilities. So with that, remember, with the trial, you're also, if you have the Hexagon Sense, able to then get 365 days of heart rate variability data, which is huge, to be able to see how your body is responding throughout the whole entire year. So you could take an individual who's never used PEMF, who's never used light therapy, who's never used binaural beats, who's never used PEMF with far infrared capabilities. Because when you're combining the far infrared with the pulse electromagnetic field, you're actually hitting the body with two different non-invasive energy sources, which are all geared to meet the same goal in the end. So you're not only just utilizing the PEMF, which is made from carbon fiber wire, which is the best range of biological windows, which is able to have you access the best range of biological windows, because the far infrared coils within the whole body mat are made from a carbon fiber wire, 5 to 18 micron wavelengths for those. And again, we're gonna go into a very detailed webinar with just the hybrid feature, as well as a whole separate one with the tool, with the trial feature. We'll show you all of this. But really, you are able to really take this to the next level and really help people with their health and wellness goals. And the trial as a standalone bundle is $8,590. And if you want the prime trial, and you want to include the Hexagon Sense, and you want to include the Hexagon Brain, it would be $9,590. So you also have to remember, if someone's a 6G out there, and at that 6G percentage commission ability, if you're helping people with trial and you're making your 6G commission on a bundle that's $8,500, you are building yourself a sustainable business, and you are able then to really make yourself an expert. Take extra classes to learn a little bit more about chromotherapy. You're really able to hone in into a specialty of people who you want to help, because also with the new features and the new bundles, you are also able to generate a whole different level of commissions as well. So you really have the ability to create a home-based health and wellness business because everything can be ordered online. Swiss Bionics sends the units directly to the individual. All upgrades can be done through email with a paid invoice and an activation code. You can utilize Skype, you can utilize Zoom, you can utilize FaceTime. You don't even have to go out and get a whole separate system. FaceTime actually works beautifully. And really go out there and create a whole health and wellness business, helping people, especially the most vulnerable population, which they're saying are people who have pre-existing conditions. How are we going to keep their bodies in top physical condition, considering people are going to have even less movement than we had before, and we already never moved. So, and now we're eating more, because what do you do when you're stressed and you're at home? You eat, and we're watching Netflix, we're on the computer more. So it's even more important now to show people how they can integrate their stretching with the iMRS Prime, how they can do their yoga, how they can integrate all of this. Because I always tell people, if you're in a condo with Wi-Fi, which all your neighbors are on Wi-Fi, there's no chi in your building, okay? You're so far removed from the earth in man-made structure surrounded by negative electromagnetic field. There's no chi in your condo, just you have to accept it. So you have to, just like we have to clean our water, just like we have to clean our air, just like we have to ask for clean food that's organically grown, you are now going to have to create chi into your condo, into your home, into your bedrooms. It's going to be even more important. So it's going to be a really good possibility. Okay, so let us open this up for questions here. And okay, I'm gonna look for the. So if everybody would like to, let's take a look here. If we have the. Yeah, I'm just looking for my chat box because I have all the other boxes here up. All right, let's get rid of the keynote. Okay, here we go. So. And I see, okay, so here's the chat box. And our Zoom capabilities will improve as we do more and more of these. So just bear with me in the beginning. Once we have the camera, you will see that we're actually creating a Swiss Bionics studio here in the training center in Cooper City. So we, over the last several days, invested in cameras, lighting, sound systems, demos. So we're actually creating a whole studio where, with our multiple screens and our capabilities, we can even have Terry Willis out in California host a meeting or be a guest speaker and bring her in just like she was here to talk to her group. Or maybe there is someone out there who is a special in color therapy or biofeedback, and they want to explain or give us a course on different heart rate variability parameters. We're able to invite those people in and host meetings, not only just with ourselves, with all of the experts who are part of the Swiss Bionics community from all over the world. So in a sense, this studio that we're creating here will even unite us, bring us even closer together, and where there may have been difficulties sharing information with our friends in Asia and our friends in Australia, with everybody in California and Canada, we are now able to facilitate all of that together and have what they've learned or discovered over in Singapore can now be shared in California, and everybody who learned something in New Zealand can now share that with people. And we can host different meetings with different group leaders as the host of it. And we're able to do all of that now through the studio here in our office here in Florida. So we really have a great ability to do that. The shipping costs will be the same. Ground shipping will be free in the continental United States. The other shipping and the other webinars will be able to contact their area offices, and that shipping will be the same as well too. We have new great shipping materials. We now have specially designed outer boxes where the actual unit in the interior box. So I know Wolfgang will show all of that to you as well too, but even all of the shipping, everything is redesigned, and it's going to be great. All the webinars are recorded and they will be made available, so you'll always be able to go back and take a look at this. We have a producer in Germany who's now going to edit, put all of these together. He's an actual producer and is pretty famous in Europe for making different promotional videos for influencers. And so he'll be taking all of these, combining them, and really making them great content for people. We'll be able to use that as well. The original iMRS will be phased out at the end of this month. We have all the iMRS Prime already in Switzerland. We are getting them shipped to the US. So we are probably looking at the end of April. I would say they'll be here in the US. With the trial version, due to the fact that you are able to create pulse trains and replicate studies, we are going to have a online certification. It's going to be available to everyone, but you have to complete the certification in order to purchase the trial, just so you get the basics and you're prepared in order to have a good foundation to take a class to then say, well, why would I select a sawtooth waveform over a sine wave or a square wave? What are the benefits? What harmonics are produced with a sine wave that aren't produced with a square wave? So you're going to learn about the harmonics, which is a huge area that a lot of people don't talk about. I do know that there's great information on YouTube for the famed physicist Bryant Myers, who wrote The Fifth Element PEMF book. He's done some great videos into harmonics. But for instance, I was just reading where your heart rhythm is actually a harmonic of alpha brain waves. So all of your different signaling in your body is actually various harmonics and subharmonics of complex waveforms. And that is how your body, as an information processing unit, is able to communicate simultaneous at the speed of light with your lungs and your kidneys and your breath, and how you're able to change with your autonomic nervous system instantly without you even thinking of you needing to do this. So all of this will be additional courses. And again, if anybody has an expertise in this, or they want to add their knowledge, let us know and we can put something together. And you're able to do the profiles with the heart rate variability on the unit. The unit it does not connect to Wi-Fi. It does not have Bluetooth. You cannot get on the internet. It's a closed system. And one of these reasons is due to the fact that security, as well as a lot of medical equipment, if it's an open sourced, you can have people hijack stuff, steal data. So we have a closed system. But the way you can access this for individuals is through USB drive. The system will store information, and your system is able to store the information for 365 days, and then it will just rewrite. But you can then, for individuals, pull that individual data off on a USB drive. So say an individual wants to obviously just have their HRV, you're able to pull that off with a USB drive, because that is actually how you will feed the information into the Cubios to get the printout, which will have a whole webinar about that. But we've kept it a closed system, obviously for security reasons. And that's also how, if you look at the trends in the medical field with all of this Bitcoin ransoming and everything going on, people aren't opening up their equipment anymore because it is costly and to put all these security features in there. So we've closed the system, and you would access individual data with a USB drive, and then you can put it on your own computer. And all our videos now are going to be recorded, edited, and then put out for people to look at later use, for people to send out to individuals who would like to also use. And the iMRS Prime is replacing the iMRS system. Just as the MRS 2000, when the iMRS came out, it replaced the MRS 2000, which we still service to this day. Manufacturing for the MRS 2000 stopped in 2011, and at least once a month, once every other month, we get a request to service or parts, applicators for the MRS 2000, and we still service it to this day. So people don't need to worry about the iMRS. Just like the MRS 2000, we're going to continue to service it, honor all warranties and whatnot to this day. But it is going to replace the iMRS systems. And you are able to sell the iMRS till the end of August, April. That is the promotion for this month. And then at the end of April, the iMRS Prime will be phased in, and all that information will be in the back office. And again, we're going to be doing webinars and whatnot multiple times a week now. We're going to really ramp up our connection with individuals out there around the globe, so people are fully aware of the new features, what's going on with the iMRS Prime, so people won't be unaware of what's going on. They'll have a full array of information. So those were, and the iMRS Prime, how fast will that be listed? Or in the back office, the pricing. So mid of April is when you'll be able to see the iMRS Prime information populate into the back office. And the iMRS Prime is already going to have its own newly designed website as well. So there'll be online certification, and the iMRS Prime is going to be available at the end of April. So just as we're phasing out the last of the iMRS systems we have here in the US, the iMRS Prime will then be launched. And that's why this webinar, we wanted to show people who may not have an iMRS Prime yet, they can still continue to sell them. And this is how, if somebody wanted a professional iMRS, this is the unit you would refer to them. And also remember, you can always start with the iMRS Prime Basic and upgrade with activation codes, which are very easy and accessible as somebody goes. So if they're not sure if they want this, or they're not sure if they'll ever use that, put them with the basic, and things can upgrade as they watch different webinars or as their needs or their own PEMF education goes. So the iMRS Prime won't be able, they can't sell the iMRS Prime at the same time because we're not doing pre-orders until May 1st. Well, we have to look a little bit how it works in the shipping. Okay. Right now, things are still a little delayed with the shipping. Given the fact that we're still not exactly sure the dates. we have everything at the Swiss office. Some things have already been sent over. So, Wolfgang was even telling me with all of the lockdown, we had one set of individuals in Switzerland and one set of individuals in Germany, and they secretly had to meet in the woods in order to share the software updates and whatnot because they aren't able to cross the border. And they got caught by the police who told them to leave. So, but I mean, this is the extent of, what people have to do now is meet in the middle of the woods to, update the software because it was too difficult to send everything through the internet. And one individual had the DA and one individual had the control unit. So they had to, resort to meeting. So that is how it was. We had a whole promotion for the reps in order to do a pricing where they were able to get the iMRS hybrid set at a special price. So we may have additional promotions. All the promotions always come out of Switzerland. So we don't decide the promotions here. So when we get word, and again, we'll find out what the promotions, and I'm sure Wolfgang will have a webinar and send out a newsletter, and he'll also give a new update from a corporate perspective to all of the promotions and the pricing. I just wanted to intent with this was to really give people a foundation of how to go explain from an iMRS original here to the new iMRS Prime.
People were asking when the pictures are available also.
Well, I mean, if you have to go with what your conscience is. If your conscience doesn't make you feel, then that is what you'll have to go with. We promoted it for 24 days in a row. A lot of people just chose not to, but again, we don't know what the promotions are, but again, everybody has to go out there with their conscience and act in good faith according to what their own beliefs are. So now this is a great time. We're going to switch over.
Just tell that we will upload pictures.
And then there's also going to be pictures uploaded in the mid of April with the US Prime. So if people want to be able to send them out or update their own personalized websites or whatnot, the pictures and everything will start to roll out as well in April. So that is all coming out. So let us, okay.
Done with questions?
Yes, and okay.
I want to call you now, okay? Muted.
Okay, so Wolfgang is going to be our cameraman, and I believe we are all looking at the control unit for the screen. Is that correct? Everybody sees the iMRS Prime screen? No. Okay, so then we have to share screen, and here it is. Now everybody should be able to see the screen here. We'll have to, it's a little fuzzy right now. Oh, it's about connection.
The streaming of Zoom because they lowered the...
Oh, they lowered the streaming. But again, like I said, we are going to have a really webinar focused specifically on this. But I just wanted to give people an idea of if you do manual operation, you would be able to choose all the applicators can be plugged in, and you would toggle through what applicator, that's the spot, the far infrared mat, the pillow pad, the regular mat with no far infrared. Once you choose your applicator, you would hit continue. You would be able to select your time, and it doesn't matter if you have the basic, the advanced, you have the full time spectrum. You have the same intensity choices as you do. It doesn't matter if you have the basic, you get all the way to the 400 setting. Remember, the trial is the one where you're able to do all the way up to, you can do one microtesla, or you can do 900 microtesla, that is just on the trial. But you're able to then change the organ clock if they have the hexagon sense, and then you would hit start. And then that is what the start screen would look like. Sorry about the quality on this. With the streaming quality got reduced. But we do have a professional camera coming. It was just the adapter, or the zoom is what's reducing it. But the camera is coming. It was just because everybody now is doing webinars and whatnot. The equipment was on back order. The other feature I just wanted to give you a show is the trial, just so you can see. So you can create the different groups. So you can actually have different groups, and then you can have different users. And then so if you wanted to program a different user, you can edit. You can then name it. You're able to select what applicator you want. You're able to select the waveform, sawtooth, rectangle, sine, triangle, trapezoid. You're able to select the frequency, and the frequency you can go all the way up to, what is that, 1,000?
Yeah.
You can do
10,000.
10
kilohertz, so 99 kilohertz.
99 kilohertz. So basically 10,000 hertz all the way down to 0.1 hertz. So you have a full range. And we'll go more into this because I'm sure some people are asking, why would you want these specific high frequencies? This will go into further once we're discussing carrier frequencies, and we're also discussing fundamental frequencies and how you create upper and lower harmonics. So we'll go into all of that, and this is also why there is a mandatory certification for the trial. But the intensity, you'll be able to select a pulse width. So you're really creating your own pulse trains. People who have the Dr. Carmichael book, and when you open up in the beginning, it tells you the actual frequency spectrum and the pulse trains that are with the morning, noon, night, and alpha. Well, that is basically what you are customizing and have the ability to make. So you can select the seconds for how many breaks. A lot of them have, you know, a half a millisecond break or a second break. You're able to program all that in before the next pulse train begins. The intensities, the time of the whole program, and you can then activate the hexagon sense. You can then select the percentage of the different colors that you would want in. Hexagon brain. You're able to then select the percentage of blue or the percentage of the red color that you would want to create. You're able to then integrate the tones and the binaural beats to all harmoniously generate energy into the body, because at the end of the day, the intent is to create coherence in the body. And with the HRV, you're able to determine if you're creating coherence in the body. Coherence is the body's ability of the brain to coherently communicate with the central nervous system, for the heartbeat to be in coherence with the breath rate. So these are all very important things. I'm taking a class where I'm learning that you can have different breath rates, whether you're doing the morning setting or an evening setting. You need to adjust your breathing in order for you to become coherent with the energy coming out of the unit. And then it will give you a summary screen of all the different parameters which you had selected. And I know it's blurry, but this tells you the carrier frequency, the waveform, the applicator, the intensity, the time, the pulse train, the duration of the pulses, whether you use brainwave simulation. All of this is going to be in. You're able to create it for individual users, and then you're able to group those individual users into specific groups. Maybe you have one group you want to try this, and another group you want to try this. And now you're able to do that. That would take you back to the home, the quick starts, which is new for all the iMRS individuals. You have balance, relax, performance, activation, regeneration, sleep. And the way all of those work is that if your intentions are to create sleep, you want to use a delta wave pattern, which is less stimulating. It has a longer waveform versus alpha or beta, which provides more energy into the system, more energy into the body, because there's more stimulation, more up and down. So when you're combining the color and the pulse trains and the waveforms, you can create magnetic field parameters in order to create the desired intention of activating the body, regenerating the body, relaxing the body, performance. So, and these are just basically one touch, and it is already programmed, and then you hit start. So, and then it has the special Silvecchio scale. Now, this is something I'm learning about myself, but this is going to be really fascinating. This is all about how the frequencies in the electromagnetic fields that the DNA utilizes. So there's a ton of research into utilizing a Silvecchio scale. Maybe you want to do a little trial on your own where some people are using the Silvecchio scale and then some people are using customized programs, and then compare the results. You're able to. You can now compare, well, somebody just used PEMF or somebody used the PEMF and the far infrared. Did they get more beneficial results? Were they faster and more efficient? You're able to decipher all of this.
And it's for the first time that you can utilize Solfeggio on a PMF device, because it's usually only done by sounds.
And this is the first time you're able to utilize this in a PMF device, because normally what Wolfgang had just said is it's normally only done with sound. So now you're able to integrate this in with a PMF device.
An inductive force.
So, I mean, the possibilities are really endless now at this point of what you can do with these units. The other thing I wanted to make mention, particularly in this time of disinfecting things, is that all the iMRS Prime applicators are covered in a medical grade biocompatibility covering, which has its own certificate. So the individual components that went into the iMRS Prime are all medical grade and have their own certificates showing that the coverings are medical grade utilized in hospitals. So they're able to be disinfected, they're able to be cleaned, which is going to be a huge point going forward, specifically with applicators, knowing that if you do have somebody come over to your house or whatnot, you can clean it and disinfect it. And the covering is all medical grade, and it comes with its own certificate to the biocompatibility of the covering. Split mode, I wanted to show you how it separates it to the left and the right. So I showed you on the DA converter how it had the left and the right plugins. This is how you would show. So the left person can utilize whatever they would like from the iGuide. They're able to do a quick start on the left, a quick start on the right. Maybe the person on the right doesn't want to do the quick start. They want to use a manual operation. They're able to then choose manual. So like I said, you have two processors, two frequency generators in every unit. So you're not splitting the power or splicing the signal. It is two separate signals with their own power source.
You have two control units in one.
So you technically have two control units in one. And a couple other features I'm going to show you here is the split mode quick starts and the new iGuide. So it has a couple additional features in it. It has been updated. So now you can just scroll. You don't have to select a letter and then you get all the different letters. It's scrollable, and then there's an alphabet key on the side. So you can just go right to the T's if you want.
You can just press on one.
So here's allergies, and it will show you all the different features that you're able to use. So gives you an overview, and again, we're going to do specific webinars for all of these features, so everybody will really have a great overview of it. So then we have the settings. Yes, it's not coming in too clear,
Okay.
but it has the settings. So where before on the iMRS, you would go to the options and the settings. Here you're able to go in. The other great thing is it gives you the different system information. You can select the language. I know now there's going to be the ability to add more languages into the system. And what else would I like to show you? That's the program mode. And
maybe I show something what nobody will see.
Yep. So one of the other features, which is more done on the corporate side, is we now have the ability where the system can diagnose itself. The system has the ability to, not only do the applicators have the different color lights on them to tell you, the system also has the ability to tell you exactly what is going on with it.
And it's kind of a maintenance mode. So when somebody's not working and will be sent in, our technical staff can work with the system with the maintenance mode.
So it has different maintenance modes. So it really has the capability, just like medical equipment, when, you know, when I was at Duke and the transcranial magnetic device went into copper coil overheat, the technician came in and plugged in his laptop into the computer and it gave a diagnostic report. The new system will produce a diagnostic report. So there's no guessing anymore. It will all show you. And I mean, it's a little blurry, but you could see how detailed the diagnostic report is, letting you know, is it the iMRS sensor? Is it the port? Is it just not plugged in? Is it not getting a signal?
Display testing.
So it'll also have a display testing, like a lot of standard laptops and whatnot. You can test the display and see what is working. Output patterns, are all the different ports have full output or any diminished? So you really now have the capabilities of a full range system, not only on the therapeutic, not only on the diagnostic, but the system now will give a whole report which will tell us what's going on. So when people say, oh, I don't think the iMRS is working, we'll know immediately, is it a user error or is it not working? Does that individual just have a poor pulse in their finger, or did they have lotion on, or what is actually the issue? Now we will actually have a diagnostic report from the system about how it is functioning and what is going on with it.
And it also communicates with the connector box. You can see what's going on with it.
So, and it communicates with the DA connector box, so you know exactly what is going on. You can see how the HRV parameters are operating. Everything. And as more and more comes, it's easily addable with the USB. So we have some great features. So I wanted to thank everybody. It's been about an hour and a half. So I wanted to thanks everybody for attending. And what is the warranty on the new system?
The policies than the previous iMRS.
3 years,
exactly,
everything.
Yeah.
The warranty on the iMRS Prime is 3 years, everything. So the control unit, DA, applicators, everything.
And the accessories, 12 months, like we had
Okay.
before. Yeah.
And the accessories are 12 months. Before they were 6 months. Now they're 12.
Yeah, I think they're 12.
And so now they're 12 months. So the goggles and everything are all, the warranty is 12 months. The sensor for the iMRS is 12 months. Everything else is 3 years, 36 months.
Size, so that they get
So this is the screen. To give you an idea, when I do this, it puts the glare on it. Yeah. But like I said, we're going to do a really good one and go through all the different features. And like I said, we're really going to up our education as well into all of this. There'll be whole webinars on just waveforms, and we'll be bringing in people who are experts in those specific areas. So if there's also any experts out there or people have figured stuff out that works well with their clients or whatnot, we'll be able to utilize it. So I want to, again, thank everybody for sticking with us for the hour and a half. And when it comes to utilizing PEMF and really helping your autonomic nervous system, helping your immune system, it is really consistency is the key. Since we're all different, there's not one blanket protocol to tell people to use it, except for twice a day. I mean, even Dana, even Michelle are now religiously doing it twice a day. They come in, they lay on the mat. Before, I'd always have to make little comments, you know, or because I was always doing it, so they would always make comments. Now I see them in here all the time because people are seeing different videos of information on how PEMF helps the immune system. And really, the key is consistency. If you use it in the morning, what I do is I do the whole body mat. I do 16 minutes minimum with the iMRS. And then I do the pillow pad and I put about maybe 16 minutes on my chest by my lungs. And then I put 16 minutes on the back. You know, I'm perfectly fine, but I want to stay perfectly fine. So I do it. And when I get home in the evening, I usually take a shower before bed, and I like to do it after the shower because your skin is hydrated and you have the water. So it helps conduct the magnetic field because you have the moisture. And I do the same thing. The only difference in the evening is I use a low intensity. I still do 16 minutes, but I do a low intensity. And so maybe I'll do the iMRS, maybe I won't, but I generally do 25 or 50. And then again, I follow it up with the pillow pad. And so if I watch an hour of TV in bed before I go, I do 16 minutes with the whole body mat. And then I put the body mat on the floor and I put the pillow pad. And again, I put it right on my chest and I do 25, 50, and then I put it on the back of my chest, and I do again 16 minutes at 25 or 50, or sometimes if I put on my back, I'll put a little higher. But again, we all know it, the virus affects the lungs. So again, there's no correlation that we're treating the virus with PEMF. There's none. But PEMF has shown to improve lung functioning. So what I am doing is improving the overall functioning of my lungs that is not related to the coronavirus, but having improved functioning of your lungs is not going to hurt. Also, because we're all sedentary, we're not getting the exercise that we used to get. Even the amount of trips to the store have probably been diminished. So consistency is the protocol for PEMF usage for individuals. And in this day and age, we're all watching Netflix, we're all on TV. That's the perfect time to do PEMF, is while you're already sitting there watching TV. Maybe you're on the computer, put the PEMF pillow pad on your lap. You know, it can go through your legs, it can go up. Put the PEMF pillow pad on your back. Move it around if you're going to do an hour, or maybe you're going to talk to family or friends on the internet and see what's going on with your grandkids. Put the pillow pad, use it while you're talking to your grandkids. It's the perfect opportunity when you're using it. And with the far infrared, utilizing that with the PEMF, it's a whole, even Michelle said, and that I think is one of the things that's driving them to use it so much, is Dana and Michelle really responded to the far infrared with the PEMF. Dana's always cold, and so even in Florida, she's always cold. The far infrared, she loves it. And Michelle, that really, she can feel the circulation. So I think the far infrared, the fact that the heat comes out and you can really feel it and it helps your body relax, induces sleep. I find it's easier to get into a nap mode. So you find yourself lying on the mat, and then when you put the lights on and you just have the hexagon sense and you let your heart rate variability move up and down the intensity, with the reports I'm looking at, you can actually see the body de-stressing. If you do 16 minutes and break it into 2-minute increments, you can see the body movement of the sympathetic and parasympathetic activity. So you can see the body physically de-stressing, and you can see that in the time domain and the frequency domain. So you're seeing the frequencies generated from your heart. You're also seeing your heart rate lower because, again, you are resting while you're using the PEMF. So it should also help lower your resting heart rate. And you can see all of this in the data. So, and the future of healthcare is all health analytics, health data, and that is really what we are gathering, health data. And what people also are going to soon correlate is that if you're a computer programmer, you use binary codes. Well, the data we're getting from heart rate variability is showing us your autonomic nervous system. So your computer, all of that stuff it's doing in the background autonomically, all the stuff your body is doing autonomically is a frequency. Your body is communicating to itself in frequencies. And what are those frequencies telling your body autonomically? We are now able to see all that and decipher what is going on in your body. How is my body communicating with the rest of my body? Is my breathing rate in coherence with my heart rate, which will then create the coherence for the rest of the functioning of my body? People who are anxious or de-stressed, there you have a lot of studies that show people who are depressed have poor bone health because the coherence to the balance of the osteoblast and osteoclast is diminished because they aren't getting the necessary balance of both sides of it, because the body is desynchronized, it is decoherent. And that is what we're doing with PEMF and all of this, is we're putting the body into coherence. So the body is in optimal functioning for what we all now need to face in this new world which we've woken up into. So again, thank you so much for spending an hour and a half with us. And I wish all of you safe journeys and good health, and may the virus stay away from you.